Hey folks, welcome to Chord Dave live because it's Saturday, it's 10 p.m. Irish time, so you better have had those notifications turned on. So many of you have joined us early, so thanks for that. I do appreciate it. And as always, we're having a beer. So happy Saturday, Sláinte to you, my friends, and all the best. Cheers. Yeah, absolutely. Still making my way through that San Miguel box. Nearly there, nearly there. Maybe there'll be something else next week. Anyway, hope you all, if you're in the US, had a happy Thanksgiving. And if you didn't, I hope you just had a happy Thursday, because that's what was going on the rest of the world. Pretty good week. Happy with how things are going. If you had a good piece of luck on Black Friday sales or Cyber Week sales or anything like that, if you picked up something cool, let us know about it. And if you're new here, because we have a lot of new subscribers in the last couple of weeks, so if you're new here, this is your first Chord Dave live, make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure you've hit that like button and then come and join us in the chat. You have to be subscribed at least 60 seconds before you can join the chat, because YouTube wants it to be that way. And I probably selected something years ago. Anyway, let's rock on with episode number 58 of Chord Dave Live. I can't believe you guys have turned up for 58 of these shows, but here we go. Scott Bogfoot, as always, was first with cheers all. Indeed, and then the best looking dude in the room came in and said howdy, so appreciate that. Ryan's here, good to see you, Ryan, as it always is. And James Severin says, hello, my Irish brother, Chord Dave. Nice to see you, James. Hope you are well. Daniel's here as well. Good to see you, Daniel. Lots of folks saying hello and stuff. Scott saying, yeah, you're going to have to be subscribed and hang around for a minute. Ryan asking as well, is there any new gear or Black Friday deals? I'll tell you about what I picked up. I might tell you about what I picked up later on. But yeah, some shopping was done this week. Scott Bogwood says, I really want the Noel Gallagher Riviera now. Way better value than the JB335. Yeah, I think it is better value, to be honest. So anyways, yeah, and there's still a few kicking around. I know Thoman had a few this week as well. So for sure, let me see. KDH should have picked a better time to do a stream. This is Dave's time slot. I don't register on the big guys' time slots. So yeah, if if they're doing time streams, then yeah, I might have to change the time this one's on at. That's what's going to happen. Ryan says, for real, this could get ugly. I think it could, because yeah, how dare you? I've been doing this time 58 times. This time on a Saturday. How dare you take my time? Anyway, it's all good. 45 likes and Dave starts some drama with some other YouTuber. Yeah, I might have to get some support in. I'm pretty sure I could get Colin to help me out here from Guitaristas. I'll have to reach out and then the two of us can gang up on the other YouTuber. Although maybe not. We'll see what happens. Ryan says the NG335 is sick. Saw it yesterday at L&M. They had a nice custom shop ES347 as well, but I didn't like the neck on it. I do like an ES347. It's kind of a hidden gem from the 80s, and I think people should look at that a lot more. Very cool guitar. And they used to go for like a really cool price. Like they used to be a lot cheaper than, say, 335, but I think it's a better guitar. But hey, definitely one to look out for if you don't know about it. Ryan says the Dave and KDH are only a couple hours drive apart. Could start a war, at least an unpleasant conversation. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, he's from Bray, right? Which is where I grew up, so I know it very well. I could probably find his location. Anyways, Scott Bogwood says, and at $500 less than the JB, it's a no-brainer if you want an ES humbucker axe for the Noel Gallagher. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal indeed. We'll talk more about Epiphone signatures in a bit. I'm sure lots of folks have stuff to say about the Adam Jones that we discussed in the video this week. Let me see. A still signature with a case. That it is indeed. It is a good deal for, what's it, $8.99, something like that, $7.99. I can't remember, but it is a pretty cool guitar, yeah, for sure. Ryan says, yeah, I don't see why anyone would go for the JB. I've seen nice used 335 dots going for 2,200 Canadian. It's a bit of a push. I mean, you know, Gibson, you know, they do their thing. Scott says, I'm only joking. I think KDH is cool. KDH is cool. I enjoy his channel a lot. He's one of those people I think does some good work on YouTube. He's a good guy. I should actually try and reach out to him, seeing as he is so close. But hey, We'll figure that out at some point, I'm sure. Ryan says, have you tried the Godin Montreal Premiere? A friend of mine picked one up for $900. Amazing guitar. I haven't. No, they're nice though. I've never played a Godin guitar actually, but they do look quite nice. I know, never really come across them though. That's the thing. Ryan says, I like both 3CD and KDH still though. It's time for some Christmas drama, isn't it? No, I'm sure it's all good. Scott says, Godin are so nice. I want the Fifth Avenue. The Fifth Avenue is a nice guitar. That there's no doubt about that. And Ryan says, the Fifth Avenue is so cool. I had the chance to get one for $350 earlier this year. Didn't realize it was that great a deal at the time, so I passed. Well, sometimes I think we've all got that deal that we passed up, or maybe we were on the other end of it and sold something way too cheap. And that's another thing we'll talk about later on, I guess. But yeah, let me just get this thing here is annoying me. I just want to move something. There we go. All right. Where are we now? Okay, Marcia's here. Marcia, there we go. Says, hey all, I was listening last week, but was too exhausted to type. I think a few of you saw I caught COVID. Oh, I shouldn't say that. The C word from one of my medical aides. That sucks. You're not the only TCD member who has caught that in recent times. That's why we haven't seen Muddy H2O for quite a while. He is recovering from some C word illnesses. I'm not calling him a C word. He caught the C word at some point. But yeah, he'll be back eventually too. Marcia, I hope you're feeling a lot better, and good to have you back. Hope you're doing better, as I said. James Severn says, the new Epiphone Adam Jones looks like it's spec'd very well. Indeed, the specs are pretty cool. I like them. What I don't think there's much to not like about what they're doing with it. The fact that they're limiting it to 800 per model, it's interesting. The Epiphone protector case, a very cool move. I like that a lot, which actually might make me interested in these guitars beyond my initial interest in them. I like the art style guitars. I hope that's something they bring back as a thing that they do. Yeah, art collector series from Adam Jones, very cool. Hoping to confirm this week's several more of the actual art designs, but I have a buddy working on it for me. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, they do look cool. And if you haven't seen the video, here's the thumber. You got Adam Jones sneaking a look, and yeah, it's on YouTube since Monday or Tuesday or something. But check it out. I'll give you all the specs, the rundown of it, everything that's in there, and everything that you can expect from those guitars. So yeah, check it out. It's a very cool looking guitar so far. The front is going to be the vintage sunburst or silverburst thing, and then an art design on the back, which is cool. Excuse me while I try to not sneeze. Ryan says to Marcia, how you feeling now? And Scott says, hey Marcia, how are you feeling this week? So indeed, lots of concern. See, the new folks will be glad to see we all care about each other around here. Marcia says, I'm doing better. I was in the hospital last week. It got bad in a matter of 12 hours with lung cancer and my other medical problems. I'm lucky I had 3 full doses. Well, hopefully you are on the way to at least being comfortable and in a better way, Marcia. Ryan says, yeah, it does. The artwork series looks good indeed. Berserker looks good. There's the other one, which I didn't show a picture of in the video. Was it the bee cover or something like that? The girl with the bees for hair. Looks pretty cool. Those are the 2 I've confirmed so far. I think there's actually just a standard version as well coming. So there's 7 art versions, series or whatever they're calling them, and then just a standard one. I'm not sure if that standard one is limited or not. So we will find out so soon. And I'll have another correction for that video as well, which I'll leave it a little bit to reveal. So but maybe about half past, in about 10-15 minutes. Scott says, yeah, for what the Fifth Avenue is, it's not super expensive. That's the Godin Fifth Avenue, indeed. Mark says, anyway, I'm testing negative now and I still have severe symptoms and exhaustion. The doctor told me I could feel exhausted and miserable for 6 to 8 weeks, maybe more. Wow. That's a long time. I mean, I feel exhausted all the time, so I don't need to be catching that so that I feel exhausted even more. But sure, rest up and take it easy, and hopefully a little bit of TCD live will cheer you up enough to feel a little bit better. And Mar says, so if I stop chatting or don't show up in the time period, it's probably that Dave is just boring and I found something better to do. Yeah, thanks. But really very likely, well, not off. I've been tired. All of those things are possible. I understand. But thanks for dropping by, though. It's all good. Scott says, I think the artwork is fine, but when it's on the guitar, it looks stupid. In my opinion, I'm old enough to remember the mural on a van days. I've seen some bad ones too. There's some bad ones. I think what I've seen of the Adam Jones ones looks pretty good. Like it's one of those where some people are going to love them and some people are going to hate them. I think they're pretty cool though. I think it's different. They don't often do things that are different. And when they do, they usually fuck it up. So I like this. I like that it's not. And Adam Jones apparently has been heavily involved. And one story I heard, not confirmed, was that Adam Jones basically at one point told him to go back to the drawing board and start again. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's what I was told midweek. From an okay source. Sorry if you're watching, you're just an okay source. Ryan says exhausted and miserable is normal for most people. Yeah, work days Monday to Friday, certainly. Between the hours of 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. That is standard. Mara says, yeah, they didn't keep me long, but they gave me some steroids in my lungs. Had I waited a few more hours, I would have been admitted in a much worse state. Well, hey, at least they got you taken care of and on your way. Ryan says, did you have a shaggin' wagon? Presume that's for Scott and not Marcia, but indeed, those were the days. No, I didn't have one of those, by the way. Marcia says, I know we all notice when someone is missing or stops chatting, so I'm putting it out there so people are aware. If someone asks, I really appreciate everyone's good wishes. Now, back to the guitars. Indeed, guitars. No, we appreciate the update, Marcia, and wish you all the best all the time, of course. Ryan says, the one they showed looked good, probably done by an artist, not a Chinese factory. I don't like Silverburst at all, so it's not for me. Anyways, I'm not a big Silverburst fan, to be honest. I particularly antique Silverburst. I think it looks like a big snot, and I don't understand. Like, I would put it in the category of the Antigua Fenders. I just don't like them. I don't understand why other people like them. But if you like them, good for you. That's my own take on it. Marcia says, it ain't a shaggin' wagon without a shag rug and a glory hole, of course. And all those new people just ran away. But it's true. Scott says, no, a 1994 Plymouth Voyager was close as I've gotten to having one. I wanted to paint it. There you go. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to just be scared of it when I see it. Ben Allmark is here. Good to see you, Ben. Hope you're well, my friend. Always a good show when you pop in. Ryan says, I had a Ford 97 Ford E350 for my first work van back in 2002. I was 18 and used to draw on it in dry erase markers. All right. Well, I did see a guy drawing on his van in LA once. I was just like, what are you doing? She's like, just passing some time, bro. All right. Good stuff. Al is here. Good to see you, Anne. Al, hope is going well. Hope all is going well. I'll try and say words properly the rest of the show. Scott says, anyway, there's a reason you see the front of the guitar. Indeed. Daniel's here. Good to see you, Daniel. Al says, just came from the Katie Hate stream, made an interesting comment. Most expensive guitar of some people's collection is the least played guitar. It depends on the person, I guess. My most expensive guitar is my most played guitar at the moment, and has been since February this year when I got it. So, I think people, though, there are people who will have a collection, and they'll buy something like a big huge treat for themselves, like a 40th birthday, 50th birthday, whatever, special anniversary, something like that, and get themselves something special and just play it once in a while as a treat or something like that, and then have their workhorse guitars. So it's quite possible. All right. I think if you're somebody like me, I try and play all my guitars all the time. Not all the time, but mix and match each day and stuff. But I do come back. I have my favorite spot, and that is where the Flying B sits at the minute. So, I think it's probably correct in a lot of and for a lot of people, not for everybody though, but that's just, I guess, how it goes. Let me see. I gotta just catch up a couple of things on the screen here. Good stuff here. All right. Richard Clark is here. Good to see you. He says, I think if KDH and TCD just had a chat, they could work out this schedule. Yeah, for sure. I'm happy to go earlier if you guys are, because then I could go to bed earlier. And yeah, I like my sleep. 3-chord pub time, says Scott. And well, okay, let's do it from the pub. Sounds good. Ryan says, does he mean because it costs more dollars to use or because the owners want to keep them nice? I think probably, I mean, I would have thought just off the top of my head, and I know what he was meaning, but I would have thought he probably just means that it's more likely that they'll be just kept kind of as case queens or whatever people want to call them, just, you know, brought out on special occasions and stuff for the more expensive ones. Kind of, you know, baby them a little bit. That's what I think. I don't know. Could be wrong. I doubt anyone's playing their Squire Affinity instead of their custom shop Les Paul or Telecaster or something like that. So, yeah. Who knows? Maybe there are people out there who do that. And if you're one of those people, you need to embrace life a little bit more. So, you know, just a little tip for you. Mars says, Al, that's often true. They sit in a case behind UV protected glass. Yeah, that is. There are people, I mean, some people with the kind of collection where they feel like it's worth investing in UV protected glass are for sure leaving their most expensive stuff in the case forever. That is very true. Scott says, probably wasn't even aware. Nobody thinks of that, I don't think. You'd be surprised. But yeah, majority of people probably don't. Al says, he just said, it seems strange because you would think you would play it the most. Well, I do, so that's my input on that. But I think a lot of people buy stuff to have it, and even just a lot of like regular folk will buy a guitar in the hope that it goes up in value. They can sell it on later on, a couple of years down the road, and get a little bit of enjoyment out of it in the meantime. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, those are not though the folks who are buying greenies for 50 grand and loaning them to certain guitar shops who have YouTube channels. Anyways, Greenie watch, there is one up for $86,000 this week. So if you're going to buy it, don't. Mike is here. So good to see you, Mike. How are you? Nice to see you drop in. And Nicholas is here as well. Nicholas S. Good to see you, Nicholas. Thanks for dropping in. Dave's my Irish brother with KDH. Indeed. Indeed. So, Grandpa Joe says, hello all, wishing everyone to have a great weekend. I'll be listening while driving tonight. Well, Grandpa Joe, you take care on the roads and be well. Glad to have you drop in and say hello to us. Always cool to see you. Richard says, hi Scott, I know my cheapest guitar is one of my most my best and most played. That's another good point, Richard, because my second most played guitar at the minute is my cheapest guitar. Actually, no, well, I forgot about the Harley Benton. So, yeah, that actually gets a good bit of play as well. So, yeah, it's probably true. It's probably true. There you go. Scott says, if anyone is new here, you'll have to subscribe and wait for 1 minute before you can chat in the best chat on YouTube and in this one. But yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button and be a part of the chat. It's super cool. You can see all the cool people who are here. And do me a favor, hit that like button. 2 more likes, and I'll do the rest of the show completely naked. I'm just kidding. I won't do that. But 2 more likes would make me very happy. So if you don't mind hitting that button, that'd be super cool. Ryan says, I guess my most expensive guitar was played the day I got it in May and maybe once since. There you go. Yeah, I think as well, I think the bigger your collection gets, the more you kind of just don't think about price. I certainly don't think about price when I go to pick up my guitar. For sure, I'm just like, this is my favorite guitar, or this is the one I want to play right now, or this is the one I can reach right now. That is something that happens quite a lot where I am. And that's why I've got a guitar over there, another one there. Next room has a couple of guitars in it. There's a couple of guitars in rooms down past this wall. And when I'm sitting there, sometimes just pick up a guitar and noodle a little bit. And that's what you got to do. But I'm trimming the collection. I sold a guitar this week. I'm kind of heartbroken, but anyway, it's fine. I bought another one. D-Mac says, hey all, good to see you, D-Mac. And Todd is here. Nice to see you, Todd. says, "Hi, Dave. Great Thanksgiving. Still eating leftovers. Hope everyone is doing well." Todd, stop making me jealous for the leftovers, dude. Yeah, a lot of my co-workers are American, and we have a small Irish team. And the Irish team were all working on Thursday, and everything in the Slack channel was like, "I wish it was Thanksgiving here. Wish we were having turkey and all this stuff." So yeah, a little bit of Thanksgiving jealousy going on in my company this week. But hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week. And Ryan says, "My Dan Electro is my cheapest by far, and I play it 90% of the time." Those are great guitars, though. Those are very cool guitars with the Coke bottle headstocks and stuff. I need to get me one of them. No doubt about it. Let me see. Mark says, "By the way, Dave is definitely going to tell us what he bought." He teased it on Instagram and then said he's not telling us today. So hit those likes so he will tell us. All right. Challenge accepted. If we hit 40 likes on the stream, I will tell you what I bought this week and what I might still buy by the end of the weekend, because I do have another one I may be picking up. And actually, I have two that I might pick up. So I'll tell you what one of them is that I might still pick up, and one of them, and what I did pick up. Even though it won't be here till next week sometime, or maybe the week after. Bought a load of books on Amazon, so they should be here next week too. I'll give you that one for free. But 40 likes, I'll tell you what I bought, I promise. Stop hitting that like button so quickly, guys. It's going up quicker than I expected. Daniel said Tolman had Squire Classic Vibes for under 300. They did. They had a great. I think their Cyber Week still runs till tomorrow, so you have some times, I think. Todd says, "There are no other streams. I only fish in this one." And that's why we love you, Todd. That's true. There are no other streams except for Marty's, apparently now KDH's, and I think someone else has another one as well that runs on Saturdays quite close to this one. And sometimes Robert Baker will just do a random one at this time. So there's a lot of competition for the 10 p.m. Irish time slot. Sundays are no good as well because they're live streams all day long. Maybe we can do a Friday. I don't know. Does Phil do one on a Friday? I don't know. We got to do something. Matt says, "Okay, everyone fess up. What Black Friday purchases have you made this week?" And I'm going to call you out here, Matt. Matt did send me some information about a particular guitar, which I so far have not bought. But I do appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for reaching out this week. Yeah, some very cool stuff's out there. There's definitely some great guitar deals. I'm going to probably throw one at you anyway later on in the show about one that I'm thinking about buying. Or did I close the window for it because I'm trying to stop myself from buying it? Yes, I did. All right, good man, Dave. Will I be successful in not buying that guitar? Who knows? Probably not, but we'll see. Daniel bought himself a bunch of cables and cheap pedals. Those are cool. We all need cables, and cheap pedals sound like a good plan. Ryan says, yeah, the 347 was in 1990, I believe. 3,900 Canadian. Very cool. Yeah, they're just a nice guitar. Everything about them is probably what I would spec if I was doing a signature ES style guitar with Gibson. I just like them a lot. So very, very cool. 3,900 Canadian. It seems like a pretty decent price. Yeah, not too bad. Ransom, I only got one item. My wrought iron effects Cold War fuzz pedal, paid full price. Well, sometimes you gotta pay full price. Sounds like a cool one. John Brad is here. Good to see you, John. Hope you're well. And Marcia says to Matt, "Nothing here unless you count dog food for Huey. But if anyone rejects any guitar or gear purchases, feel free to forward them this way." Best of luck with that, Marcia. But hey, dog food is a good purchase also. And I hope Huey enjoys it. Daniel says, "Black Friday kind of sucks. Most things you really want are only like $20 off." There's a lot of guitar deals, and I'll give you an example of 40% off. 50% off I'll give you. Actually, let me get it back here. I have it here somewhere, and I'll show it to you. As of this morning, Irish time, they were still available. So let me see if they still are. I think these are cool, by the way. I'm going to share it with you now in just 1 second. Guitars. Yes, we're in guitars. Stop it. I'm going to show you the pink one, because if you're not man enough to rock pink, then you're not man enough at all. I'll pop a link as well. I'm just going to get the No, not like that. I'm not. Just gonna get a picture for you guys, and then see what you think. So, yep, link edge there. All right, so I don't want you guys clicking off too much, but if anyone's interested in this guitar, for sure you can. Let me get the picture. So you've heard of Relish guitars from Switzerland, I'm sure. We are in desktop mode. There we go. So here we go. This guitar is 50% off the Trinity. Now these are the ones with the swappable pickups with just magnets to pop them in and out of place. These are very cool. I am trying not to buy this now. CHF is Swiss francs, and 350 of them is 350 euros. So it's the same in dollars pretty much. So if you're wondering, that's how much those are. They come with one set of pickups. You can buy a second set of pickups for 150 euros as well. And they're doing free shipping, I think. At least to Europe they are. I'm not sure about the States. But that's a half price guitar. Those are going back to 700 euros on Monday. So a good deal right there. They have them in several different colors as well, but only certain ones are 50% off. So check them out if you're interested in them. I like them. I really like them. So yeah, trying not to purchase one is my difficult thing at the moment. Anyway, that's what I was going to tell you. 40% off on that one. So now let me, because I've messed it all up, go back and try and find where I was in the comments. And we were there we were, I think. Anyway, hang on. That was Daniel's comment, right? So there you go. Yeah, some other cool stuff. I bought a guitar that was 30% off, I think. Was it? Anyway, it was there was some money off it. Just over 30% off, I think. So anyway, DMAX says, I played Epi SG Custom yesterday in my local guitar shop. A really cool guitar. May look at trading in my SG Standard in on it. Slimmer neck on custom, and even though same pickups, custom sounded clearer. Yeah, can happen. Customs are cool. But yeah, if it feels better to you, then that's the one to go with for sure. Sometimes you just got to vibrate with the guitar. Could have two exactly the same and just one feel a lot better to you. So that's the way to go. Todd says I'm saving up for something American made. Probably will be a Fender. Sorry, Gibson. I mean, fuck Gibson anyway. Sorry, Mark. Only American built guitar I've owned was a Gibson S1 in the early 80s. Long gone, traded away. S1s are a really interesting guitar now that you bring them up. Very interesting indeed. But yeah, get a nice Fender for yourself. Yeah, you deserve it, man. They're cool guitars. I'd wait until I bring out a Katana. Those are cool. A new Katana and rock the F out of that. That'd be cool. Ryan says, yeah, Black Friday is usually the normal price with a was in this dollar amount sticker on it. That does happen quite a lot. I think for some reason there seems to be a lot of good deals lately. Like this here. I've seen a lot of good deals on all kinds of things. I wasn't in the market for a lot of things and ended up. Well, I'll tell you what, the accidental selling of a guitar made me go, I got to buy more guitars. So there you go. You guys know I listed some guitars recently for sale. Somebody bought one of them, and yeah, kind of disappointed that they did. But it's going to a good cause. We're going to try and raise the funds to make a Rory Gallagher documentary next year. So that will go towards that. Maybe about 20% or so of it has been raised by selling my lovely PRS custom, the one that I'm devastated I don't have anymore. But there you go. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So next year, look out for a Rory Gallagher documentary. So far, it's about 20% funded. So we just need another 80% to come. I'm not going to do any kind of like Kickstarters or GoFundMes or anything for the movie. Just going to try and raise it by selling stuff, or hey, YouTube might do it, or you can if you want to be involved, you can join Patreon, where you can pick yourself up this rockin' mug that says Chord Dave rocks my world, and I will also be your best friend. So thank you so much to my current one Patreon, who you know who you are the best of all the subscribers on the channel, and I do appreciate you so much. I appreciate everyone else, but the people on the Patreon, and there is one of them, is very special. And almost at the point where I get this cool mug. So get yourself a mug on Patreon. The links are in the description of all the videos. And you will be helping to fund one of those documentaries that I want to make. So, anywho's, let's have a look at the next comments. John says, Marcia, I caught COVID 2 years ago and I'm still sick with long-term COVID. John, that's terrible. Yeah, hopefully you feel better. I know that's a rough one. People are struggling with it for sure. Richard says, I got pet food too. My delivery service had 35% off. I wiped out PetSmart and the grocer. Well, there you go. Dogs got to keep fed and stuff like that. Todd says, at least we know why it took so long to get the Epi Adam Jones Les Paul, but I've got no use for artsy fartsy stuff, so no love for this run. I get your point. Todd. It's not an out and out rocker. It is like with a poly finish, it should be fine, but I think they're more collector's items so much than guitars. At the price for an Epiphone, they're going to be, as I said in the video, they're very expensive. And Todd says, great video though, Dave. Thanks, Todd. I do appreciate that. Got the info, put it together as quickly as I could. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And lots of people saw it. So happy about that. Marcia says, I saw the Fender sale and really wasn't as impressed. It wasn't on all stock and whatever was available was meh, except for a few things here and there. I didn't check it because I probably would have bought something. So glad to know. Scott Bussey says, are they going to do a regular version of the Adam Jones? Not 100%, Scott. I'm not 100%. So here's the conflicting reports. First report I heard said that there was 8 art versions, and the second report said 7. I've seen several people say 7 versions, and I was told specifically there are 8 versions of the Adam Jones coming out. I wasn't told 8 art versions. I was told there's 8 versions, and then True Digging found that there's at least 8 versions of the guitar coming, but I haven't been able to verify any more than I think 3 art versions so far. So we'll know in a couple of weeks' time, but I'd put it at 50-50 so far. I think there's a 50-50 chance. I would put money on there being a standard version, but not being limited. It'll be a couple of $100 cheaper and probably a more regular case than a protector case. And that's what I'm hoping they do. And I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but I'm fairly certain they're going to do that, but we'll see. Ryan says, Todd, before you go with a Fender, take a look at the Les Paul Classic Faded. Amazing guitar for the price of a studio. Classics are great. Classics are great guitars for sure. Or Family Trips. I think that's Butch. Is it Butch? Says, I know a guy who knows a guy, and I got mine pre-ordered. There you go. Good stuff. Glad you got one pre-ordered. They're gonna fly. They're 100% they're gonna fly. People have been waiting for these for a long time. Stevie W's here says, hi Dave. Hi Stevie. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining us today. Let me see what we got. 30 likes, guys. We still have to get another 10. So hit that like button. We got enough people watching, so if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you do. Todd says to Scott, my thoughts exactly. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a regular one, but don't hold me to it because I'm not 100% sure. Todd says, Ryan, thanks, but I'm just not a fan of the necks on the fadeds. They do look good though. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that. Daniel says, I wish Fender would do a telly with a P90 in the neck. They've done stuff like that, and maybe not recently, but yeah, it's not impossible to get to see that again in the near future. Who knows? Yeah, I would say keep an eye out next year. Fender doing some cool stuff lately. Scott says to Todd, yeah, man, I just want that guitar. Yeah, you're not alone. There will for sure be something of a rush if they do put out a regular one. I think those will go really, really well. I'd be surprised if they didn't, to be honest. That's how I'll put it. I'd be surprised if they don't have. So what I'm expecting personally is a regular Adam Jones and 7 art versions. That's what I'm now expecting them to do. I said I was going to give you my correction on the Adam Jones video, by the way. In the video, I say they will be out on December 12th. They will not. So me being me, just didn't read the email properly. The week starting December 12th was what the email said. So the actual date most likely to be the 13th, which is the Tuesday. Could also be the Thursday, which is the 15th. So one of those 2 days, the Tuesday or the Thursday, on the week of the 12th is when we will see them. So we don't expect Monday the 12th. You're not going to see them then. It will be the Tuesday or the Thursday after that. So yeah, that's my little correction for those guitars. So keep an eye out for it. Now, also, Gibson know the information has leaked. So they might just confirm that all the dealers have them and push the release forward. So I'm kind of half expecting that. I kind of expected it to happen this week when after I put out my video, that they will just put them out the next day and be like, see, you don't know nothing. So but yeah, I'm sure they're gonna try and do something, but expect them that week anyway. For now. Corey says, hey gang, hope everyone's had a good week. Sorry I'm late. I just finished installing some lipstick tube pickups in the late 80s Korean built Squire Strat. Hit those buttons for Dave. Do hit the buttons. Lipstick pickups are cool, Corey. So yeah, good stuff. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for dropping in. And remember, there's no such thing as late. Not around here. Scott says, hopefully the AJ don't back don't look like it's printed with those with those things that are printed on cakes and donuts. Yeah, that would be terrible. I'm sure they'll look a little bit better. I think on my Instagram I have pictures of one of them, and it doesn't look too bad. But bear in mind, it's all behind a poly finish, so it's going to look how it looks behind a finish. Hopefully it'll be good. I'm sure they will. They've spent a long time apparently working on this, and it's been rejected more times than it's been approved, obviously. So yeah, hopefully soon we'll find out, and it'll be cool. What I hope is that after all this time waiting, and literally like hundreds of people have reached out and be like, when are these guitars coming? I hope everyone who wants one gets one and is super happy with it. That's the most important thing to me, because I've been doing this channel for almost 3 years now. People ask me about guitars and information all the time. People are always dropping me comments and emails and DMs. Oh, sliding into the DMs there. Not usually the people I want sliding in there, but hey, there you go. But they've been asking more about this guitar, particularly in the last year, than any guitar ever. And bear in mind, I had the information about the Slash Epiphones before anyone on YouTube. Nobody really asked me much about those guitars. These Adam Jones, I've been getting asked for at least 18 months when they were coming. Did I have any information? People randomly emailing me. So I really hope the people who've been waiting for this guitar to come get one and love it, because that would be super cool. But I don't know. I never trust Gibson / Epiphone anymore. So we'll see. Hopefully, a couple of weeks time. Hopefully, if you want one, you'll get one. Richard says, I loved Silver Burst for years. Knew I would always buy when the right one came along. Now this AJ stuff happened and all the prices are jacked, and they are putting frou-frou on them. Yeah. My hope is that I'm wrong about the regular one in prices, that like just the art ones are $12.99 and then the art one or the regular one is $9.99. I think that's the best you're going to get, $9.99. I'm hoping that happens, but still it's a bit high for an Epiphone if you ask me. But fingers crossed that's what they'll do. And Richard says, I don't even want one now. People will think I am a sheep. I don't know. I think these are an exception. I would think they're cool. If you're into Silver Burst, this is your thing, I would get one of these if you can afford it, because they're going to be, as I said, they're not my thing. I don't like the antique Silver Burst finish, but if you like it, I think they're doing the best that they can with Epiphone for here. So anyway, let's hope you get one if you like them. Very cool. Super chat from Donald. He says, did not know any more Lazarus would be available and just bought one from Sweetwater. Rolled the dice. Mine is fantastic. Very pleased. Cool, Donald. Yeah, thanks so much for that super chat. That's very nice of you, and I do appreciate it. Helps out the channel a lot, so thank you. Yeah, the Lazarus appeared. Lazarus returned, and they surprised a lot of people. I don't know where they've come from, but yeah, they managed to get a load of new ones. But anyways, it's all super cool that people who missed out on one and wanted one have got one. And hopefully they will continue to surprise people and bring stuff back. Glad you got one, Donald. Thanks again. Marcia says, Corey, what made you pick lipstick tubes in a Strat? Never saw them in anything except Telecasters. Interesting choice. Seen them in lots of guitars. They're interesting ones. Todd says, To Scott, that's what I thought about him. The Dean Dime models often look like crap up close, but due to poor quality of the graphic. Um, yeah, that's and now that I think about it, that is true. John says we've talked about our favorite music-related movies like Spinal Tap, etc. But I wanted to mention I watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show for Halloween. Very good. It's a fun movie. Yeah, always a good time watching that one. It's a very cool show. I loved it. Scott says my most expensive is the hardest to get to. No reason, just the case for it only fits back there. Well, there you go. That's probably why you don't play it as often, Scott. Good stuff. Todd says I'm a veteran of several Rocky Horror Show events. Good fun. Those are good fun, and indeed, it's been many a long time since I've been to one. To be quite honest, like God, 20 years maybe. I don't know. John says it's playing on Hulu now. Very cool. Al says Dave would disown me if I jumped ship for a movie. I would, Al. I would disown you completely. But then I'd remember you have that sweet 61 SG, and I'd let you back into the club, so it's okay. But it's all good. No, I mean, listen, stick around. The show will be still on, I believe, on Hulu, right? It's like on demand, like Netflix or something. We don't got it here, so I just gotta assume. And when I'm in the US, I'm too busy to be watching streams. So, anyways, cheers. Where's Glenn? Has Glenn not come in yet? This is weird. Doing a show without Glenn being in the chat. Anyways, Corey says, Marta, I've got a bunch of strats and they all have to be different in order for me to justify keeping them. So this one got something different. So far, I'm really digging it. Good thinking, Corey. Yeah, absolutely. And keep letting us know if you do more cases, more racks and stuff that you want me to show. That would be super cool. We do appreciate that. I haven't got them on the thing this week, but I have kept them to show them around. And lots of love for them, by the way. Very cool stuff. Todd says it's only good if you're there in a theater with 100 lunatics in costume. Which costume do you wear, Todd, to the Rocky Horror Picture Show? I want to know. So let us know in the comments for sure. Scott says I don't play my most expensive because my cheapest is so good. Oddly enough, the most and least expensive are both 7-string. Well, there you go. That's an interesting coincidence. Todd says my most expensive guitar is my main guitar. Same for me, at least right now. That might change. It might change. Daniel says I do play my PRS SE more than my S2. PRS SEs, in my opinion, and I'm losing one very soon, are amazing guitars. I think for the money, they're some of the best value you can get. So one thing I will say is Andertons, if you want to check out their website, they're over this weekend, I believe, selling hollow body SEs for a stupid crazy discount. So check them out if you're after something from the PRS SE lineup. And the PRS hollow bodies are amazing. So definitely a recommend for me. Al says I've been contemplating swapping pickups in my Strat for a set of rails. I heard them played by Mitch Farber. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. John says, sadly, my most expensive guitar is a Harley Benton Strat. John, Harley Benton Strats are cool. I've got one and I really dig it. I think it's, like for me, it's up there with the best Strats that I've played. Not having played a million Strats, but still better than a lot of attempted Strats that I've played. Scott says, yeah, Todd, I saw a Washburn Dime Lightning and it was very poor looking. So there you go. Todd says, Iron Maiden use Strats with rails. They sound good. Good enough for Iron Maiden and good enough for me. Aiden Redneck is here. Good to see you, Aiden Redneck. Hope you're well. Says, my most expensive has been my most played since I got it. There's just something magical in the time of a Gibson Les Paul with P90s. Anything with P90s. Killer. I think like I've contemplated many a time making guitars like from scratch, just building them, and every time I do, I'm like, if I do it, it's gonna be P90s. So if I ever start making guitars, they're all gonna just have P90s in them, unless I go crazy or something. Daniel says Harley Benton is not cheap. All the Fusions are around $450 in the United States. Yeah, it's true. They're not the brand they were 10 years ago, which was cheap crap. They're now I would say cheap to mid-priced good guitars. And it's probably about time I reviewed a new Harley Benton because it's been a couple of years now, almost. Was it? Yeah, a couple of years. So we'll see. Maybe in the new year there'll be a lot of guitar reviews on the channel again. Although you guys know I loathe doing them on YouTube because YouTube has this thing called the comment section, and people just tear you apart no matter what you do. But then again, that's all good. It's all good. Anyway, Marcia says to Corey, makes sense. It's an interesting choice. I would be curious to hear it. So what config are the pickups? Good question. Adrianic says, meant tone, not time. Stupid phone. I hate stupid phones. I genuinely do. Yeah, but no, you're right. 100% Gibson and a P90. It's good. It's good. I like that a lot. Todd says to John, my Epi SG is my big money axe. All my other were around 100 each. And Epi SGs, as you guys know, are one of my favorites. I love them. I love my Epi SG. It's my number two. It's my number two right now. Asian Redneck says that's how it should be unless you're a museum. Sadly, most people buy expensive guitars to flip or as investment pieces, and they're scared they'll damage them and rarely play them. It is true. It's true. Scott says, Dave, can you tell us some stories about when you were a sea captain? What? No. Also, what? I know what you're talking about, but anyways, what? 4 more likes, guys. I'll tell you about what guitar I bought this week. The most expensive guitars are currently in cases with the Dario Humi packs, as the cold and using hot air heat in the house need to protect those guitars in all rooms. Humidifiers are a little effective. Yeah, good idea. I'll for sure to do that. Daniel says, Dave was a real captain. I mean, I was captain of my basketball team for a bit, and I was vice captain of the debate team. I don't know if that counts. That's about the only things I've been captain of. Anyways, I'm leader of the 3-Chord Dave army. That's my claim to fame. Marsh says to Scott, Dave has to tell us by writing, singing, playing the story as a traditional Irish sea shanty. Oh my God, you guys do not want that. Dave was not a captain, he was a purser. He had howdy doody. Anyways, what's all this? What's going on? I don't know what's going on here with the whole captain stuff. I might have said something. I have no idea. Eddie Kidd said, I'm selling everything but one electric, one acoustic, one amp, and 8 pedals. Time to clean house. I certainly get those vibes sometimes myself. Eddie, good to see you, by the way. Thanks for dropping in. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, I gotta sell everything. And then I put stuff on Reverb, and people, and I whenever I list on Reverb, bar the two guitars I recently put up. Like, for example, I put up some pickups and I put them at a really solid price, like a good bit, let's say 20% lower than everyone else, and some dudes still offered me 50% of what I had them listed for. I was like, no dude, I'm already the cheapest on Reverb, give me a break. So I hate selling stuff because people try to lowball you all the time, and then they act like you're the bad guy when you're like, no, I'm sticking to my price, dude. Anyways, yeah, Reverb. Anyways, by the way, in the cold weather setting in, does it ever make sense to pay to set up and or plec a guitar if it's shipping between a similarly cold or dry climates? I mean, plecking a guitar might be overkill, I think. Setup, possibly. But again, just letting your guitar acclimatize is probably just the best thing to do before you, or when you get it. So just give it a couple of days, maybe 24 hours, however, depending on the thing. But everyone will have their own opinion on that. It's kind of controversial, I think, because every time someone gives an answer, someone else gives the opposite answer. So Steve Norbell's here. Good to see you, Steve. Hope you're well, my friend. And Richard says, a few days ago, the algorithm fed me Gary Moore's last gig from London. If you have not seen it, I was floored. I don't know how many times I had to rewind. That's what a Les Paul is for. Gary Moore live, some of the best guitar playing you will ever see. Wonderful live performer. So sorry I missed the chance to ever see him live, but yeah, absolute legend. Wonderful dude, and what a player. And yeah, can't speak highly enough about him, so definitely check that out. That's very cool, Richard. Al says, I had Gibson Garage send me an offer on a watch to guitar for 15% more. Too bad it was the wrong time, or would have jumped on it. Very cool. And later on, I see you say Gibson demo shop, not garage. Yeah, they do that sometimes, sending out an offer. Um, if you've liked it or you're watching it. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool, especially if you bought from them. They tend to do it. But yeah, it's wrong time. Happens all the time, doesn't it? Ryan says, Marsha, just get a setup if it plays off. Plec isn't worth it unless there's an issue. I would tend to agree. I think Plec is an overkill unless it's really bad. Scott says acclimation is key. Acclimation, in fact, that's the word. Acclimation is key, Marsha. Most of the time you'll be fine, but nobody can guarantee that. That's true. John says, everyone's thoughts on Harley Benton selling directly from the USA. Did a whole video about it, John. I think it's a great thing. I think it's cool. I don't like that they've built in the shipping from Europe to every guitar. So I guess that's to stop, or that's to make it so that people will still buy guitars from Thomann directly. I don't agree with that so much. So hopefully they sort their pricing out. I think they're going to keep a very close eye on it and make changes as they need to as it goes. But yeah, I think it's a great thing. I think people who weren't exposed to Harley Benton will. Over 10,000 people have watched my video about Harley Benton USA. So hopefully that'll push a few people to buy them. The more sales they make on Reverb from their US warehouse, the more they'll improve that service. So if you're on the fence about Harley Benton or you just want to try them out, buy some stuff. You'll help them evolve what they actually do over there. And, they're not that expensive. So it's a good deal. And you don't like it? Free shipping, free returns. So yeah, get on that for sure. Daniel says the Gibson demo shop is just rejects with a higher price tag. What they do actually, Daniel, is, and this is interesting, they have stuff in the warehouse that maybe even never shipped, but they actually give them a really good setup before they send them out. People who've bought demo shop guitars tend to be happier with them than people who just buy regular Gibson stuff. But the thing is, they have stuff in their warehouse, even still going back years. They still have 2013, 2012s, 2015s with the cool cases, 2016s with the cool cases, and they're selling them like really cheap. So yeah, they do go over them. I heard somebody, I think it might have been a Gibson employee, say, if you can't afford a Gibson custom shop, these guitars get the same treatment before they're sent out. So I think that just means in terms of the setup that they give them, they're more likely to be better playable out of the box. But you're going to have to deal with possibly dings and little cracks here and there, and the guitar not being perfect, but they do have a playability warranty on them as well, I believe, or guarantee or something. So, but haven't bought from them, so but I know people are very happy who have bought them. So if you've bought one though, let me know. Scott says Harley Benton are being bought there anyway. It's only smart, if not inevitable, to be in the biggest market on the planet. That's China though, right? I can't imagine they'll sell 2 million in China. So yeah, the biggest market they could sell in for sure would be the US, for sure. Yeah, it makes sense. They've been selling lots of guitars into the US and Canada for the last couple of years at least. Ryan agrees with you, Daniel, which is cool. Al says, I saw Gibson guitars selling on Instagram for $90. If you buy, I'll sell a bridge. I'll sell you a bridge in Brooklyn. Yeah, I agree. Or upgrade it for a bridge in London. I don't know if that's an upgrade. But anyway, I'm Irish, so yeah. So many people see on so many Facebook groups, oh my God, I saw this great deal. The Gibson guitars are $90 off because they're liquidating, because they're going out of business. No, dude, they're not. Stop being so fucking gullible. Anyways, Ryan says, I remember seeing Relish last year for $4,000 or so. Did they drop prices that much, or are there different lines? No, they still have those expensive ones, Ryan. There are different lines, and these are the Trinity, I believe, are their Far Eastern made ones. I'm not sure where they're made, but they have those magnetic pickup drop in drop out system. You can get all kinds of pickups for them, bare knuckles and Seymour Duncans, I believe you can get, as well as their own in-house ones. But no, these are their import guitars. Although I don't know where their not import guitars are made. Maybe they're made in the same factory, who knows. Corey says, hey Marsha, pickups configuration for the lipstick is the standard SSS setup for a Strat. There you go. Al says to Daniel, I bought 2 guitars from the demo shop. They play fantastic and can hardly find any defects in them. Best deals for Gibson. So before you condemn them, try them. Which is exactly what I've heard. But I know several people who've bought demo shop guitars, and they've been like, why aren't all Gibsons sent out this playable out of a box? And it's a good question. Lipsticks are the best, like P90, but more, says Ryan. Interesting. Daniel says to Al, I don't have 3,000 to spend on a defective guitar, would just get a standard. Yeah, listen, we've all got our stance on it. As I said, I think they take a little bit more care because they know they're specifically saying, hey, there's something wrong with these guitars. At least they tell you what's wrong with the guitars, whereas you buy a standard from Gibson, you have to find those defects yourself and see whether you're cool with it or not before they send it to you. But I say majority of people are super happy with their demo shop purchase. The great thing is you can return it. So if you find something that's not good, you can send it back to them and get a full refund. But either way, I think you've both got valid points. Ryan says, Al, I tried to buy a couple but can't in Canada. It's true they are rejects, but the mods they do usually takes care of that. Prices are usually less than usual too. Yeah, usually they are good prices, for sure. I was desperate to buy a couple of the things they had in the European demo shop, and they wouldn't sell it to Ireland at the time. They will now, and the things I wanted are gone. So what can you do? Corey says it's definitely a different tone and really liking them when driving with my Mojo pedal, Ryan. That's for lipstick. Al says, okay, so those guitars aren't for you. No problem. Indeed. Hey, look, everybody's got a different feeling on these things. It's all good. Ryan says, Daniel, you get a custom shop level guitar for the same price or less in most cases. The gear they describe is said to be way overstated. Or the wear that they describe is said to be way overstated. Yeah, I've heard that from everyone. As I said, I haven't bought one from them, but I have heard that from several people. Stephen Ravel says, I bought an Epiphone SG G400 Pro 2 weeks ago, and I can't put it down. Those are cool guitars, yeah, for sure. And SGs, just great. So yeah, those are fantastic. Al says, bought my LP for 500 less than retail. SG was 400 less than retail. The guitars listed as good, looked as good as the new in my local store. There you go. I'll look again, another success story. I've heard many success stories from the demo store, and I would, if I lived in the US, I'd be buying from the demo store regularly. They do post some very cool stuff. The mod collection is it the mod collection that they have on the Gibson website? Those are cool as well, but I think sometimes they just don't put the effort in that they used to now. So we'll see. Ryan says you can get LP customs with made-to-measure style paint jobs and one-off mods for 20% lower than retail. You got to be quick, but you can absolutely get them for sure. Marcia says to Ryan, I was just wondering about the setup thing because of something I read online. Someone said if it's shipping between similarly cold or dry climates, it's okay to get the setup. Yeah, I'm sure setup will be fine. Just get someone to look over. It'll be all good. Ryan says, Dave, just call Long McQuaid and see if they have them. They'll tell anyone anything. Yes, I have called occasionally. And people are always asking me where I get the information when I do have advanced information on guitar models. And honestly, there has been occasions where I have called up or reached out to a retailer and said, hey, when are these guitars going to be available? And someone has spilled everything and they're not supposed to. So I'm not going to tell you which retailer or my username on said retailer's store. But yeah, I've had some quite fun chats. Be like, hey, I'm looking for that. Hey, just wanted to know, do those have X, Y, and Z pickups? No, they've got this. All right, sweet. What about the fretboard? What about this? And just found out all the information. The retailers, people, will tell you almost anything. So if they got them in stock or they're there waiting, and sometimes guitars are waiting a long time before they actually release them. So sometimes you get the information. But anyway, you'd only do that if you had a YouTube channel and you were desperate to get content that people would actually want to see. So yeah, don't be ruining it for us by everybody doing it. Scott says, I see that Geek Lord is having to make a vid to do damage control for his sponsorship. Funny how the vid says he just needs a reason to drop their sponsorship as if he'd like to. I haven't seen that. What sponsorship is he? What's going on? He just needs a reason to drop their sponsorship. I know that dude likes his sponsorships. But that's interesting. let's see, if you're new here, let's see if you can figure out who Geek Lord is. There's another YouTuber. I just don't like to mention it by name in case of the backlash. You know, I've had some super fans of that YouTuber backlash some of the things we've said. Marge says it sounded like SO thought it would be a waste of money because of the neck would likely sprout or change, but it's shipping between the similar climate. I don't see why the setup can't be done before shipping. Ryan says, yeah, guitars move around with climate. Setup would be a good idea. Plecking isn't necessary. Yeah, I'd agree. I would agree. AJ backs painted by Dairy Queen cake decorators. Yeah, hopefully not, Scott. Hopefully not. Marcia says, Scott, when did that happen? I haven't watched his vids lately. We all love a Geek Lord drama. We do. It's all funny. We'll all meet up at his museum someday and laugh about it. Eddie Kidd says, who is Adam Jones? Adam Jones is a guitarist for Tool. So hopefully you know who Tool are. And if you don't, check them out because you might dig them. They're a pretty cool band. Not the hugest fan of them at all, but you can put them on sometimes. Love the vibe. It's all good. Al has not watched Geek Lord in months. It's one of those. There's like 3 or 4 YouTube channels I used to watch on a lot, like on a very regular basis, daily almost. I just can't bring myself to watch them anymore because I know the shady shit they do in the background. Anyways, I'm not going to say anything else about any of that. Marcia says he already posted his video. Usually posts before Dave finishes his stream. He's trying to knock me off my time, like KDH is apparently. KDH, what's going on, man? Why are you trying to take my time? Scott Brower says, Fro, I agree. Well, there you go. Scott says, Marcia, I can't understand why sometimes a guitar can ship from Indonesia and still be in tune on arrival, but some guitars need a setup if you bring them up a flight of stairs. That's true. Eddie says there's a Silverburst Epiphone already, just get that for way less. But then you don't get the Seymour Duncan pickup in the bridge and the reverse mounted Pro Booker in the neck position. Come on, man. You're right. There is a Silverburst Epiphone already, and some people will be way better getting that one. But there's a lot of Adam Jones fans who want that guitar. Really, really is. So let's see. We got Ryan says, I don't know who Adam Jones is. Shit, I just found out today who Randy Rhoads was. There you go. Scott says, excellent, Eddie Kidd. Awesome comment award. Scott doesn't have power to give out awards on this channel, by the way. He's trying to grab power. That's what's happening here. But it's okay, Scott. We're all good. You can give out awards. It's fine. Anthony says, hello all. Good to see you, Anthony Thornhill. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Nice to see you dropping into the chat, as it always is. And we've got, let me see who we got. Micah's here. Good to see you, Micah. Hope you're well. Says, morning, people who are. Indeed. How are we? Indeed. Yeah, I'm doing well, Micah. Hope you're doing well. Have a happy Sunday morning to you. Always amazes me that people are here from all over the world. So thanks for joining us on your Sunday morning. Ryan says, Randy played with Ozzy, died in a plane crash. Pretty sad. AJ, I have no idea. I don't know if who's saying what now. Corey, Scott says, Corey, can the luggage guitar rack be folded into itself and closed? Good question. I'm sure Corey will let us know. Mar says, of course, I know who Or and AJ are. But there you go. Benny Larson's here. Good to see you, Benny. Hope you're well. Says, hey guys, sorry I'm late. Good to see you. No such thing as late, Benny. But thanks for dropping in. We love to see you. And again, asking who Adam Jones. I told you, he's some dude. Dave Murray Strat will blow your head off. Scott, that sounds scary. Micah says, hey Dave, seeing ZZ Top in February and planning on taking my Blood Orange for him to sign. What do you think? I think seeing ZZ Top live is very cool. Bill Gibbons is the man, and I'm very jealous of you. That's what I think. Bringing something to get signed is a very cool idea. I like that. So I wish you all the best with that, and we'll be very jealous. Make sure you post it on Instagram if you do get it signed. That'd be cool. And I look forward to seeing it. Micah, yeah. Damn it! Now I want to go see ZZ Top. Damn it. Ryan is hopefully joking about AJ. apparently he's not. So I don't know, but we'll let you know, Ryan, at the end of the show. Benny says, "Hey Scott, I've seen a travel guitar that did something like that. Folded into itself. Yeah, indeed. Let me see. Micah asked for pinstripes," says Scott. Yeah, Billy apparently will do pinstripes if you ask him nicely. So that would be super cool. T-Ball says, "What up, guitar freaks? Missed you all last week." We missed you, Anthony. Hope you're doing well. Hope all's good with you, and hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Ryan says, "I'm guessing he plays for some metal band." Tool. He plays for Tool. There's people freaking out that if you don't know who Adam Jones is. I guarantee you there are people here like they're not able to type because they're just so apoplectic that you don't know who Tool are or who Adam Jones is. It's happening. Whether you mean it or not, they are freaking out. Asian Redneck says, "Ryan, Adam Jones is a Tool. I mean, he plays guitar in Tool." One of those statements is correct. I think he's a cool guy, but you know, he's doing his thing. Marcia says, "AJ is best known for being the guitarist from the band Tool." I think we're going to get a lot of these in the band Tool comments. Oh, okay. Tool had a good song. People are gonna go. People are going to go crazy about that. Micah says, "Oh, I don't know about pinstripes, Scott. Maybe on my gold top. Gold tops pinstripes are sweet, for sure." Al says, "I have a Tool rack in my garage." Indeed. Good stuff, Al. I'm glad you do have one. Indeed. Maybe you could pop a silver burst Les Paul on it. Maybe that's what you need. Mar says, "I'm very surprised you never asked Ryan because that name comes up here a lot. We all don't know everyone and everything. I'm positive you've heard some Tool songs on the radio." More than likely. If you listen to the radio, I'm sure you do. Tools are great for doing setups. That is a very good point. That is an awesome comment of the week right there from Al. There we go. See, I got the power to do that. Good stuff, Al. I appreciate that one. That's a good one. Todd says, "Fun fact, Adam Jones worked in movie special effects and was working with Sam Winston on Industrial Light and Magic on a little film called Jurassic Park." I don't know if anyone's ever seen that small little indie film. The day he went pro with Tool. That's correct, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of photos that you can find of him working on models and stuff like that for that particular flick and others. Very cool indeed. Ryan says, "I didn't really care, to be honest." There you go. Pro Tool. Yeah, wow. Why has nobody thought of that? Daniel says, "How do people not know who Adam Jones is?" Hey, there's people who don't know who lots of people are. Yeah, I know people who don't know who Brian May is. I know people who don't know who Jimmy Page is. I just, honestly, lots of people don't know. If you're not into that band, you don't care who those people are. It's for sure a thing. Scott says, "Micah, I met Billy this summer. He was so down to earth and approachable." Yeah, I remember Scott telling us about that. It was cool. Met him in a guitar store, I believe. And Al says, "Adam who?" No, not Adam who, Adam Jones. Todd Moore says, "Scott, you effing met Billy F. Gibbons. The man is a tone master, a blues rock god. I'm supremely jealous." Yep. He told us about it. It happened on a Saturday, so he met him on a 3-Chord Dave live day. It was fun. He was buzzing. He was buzzing. T-Ball says, "I remember a time when all this signature guitar bullshit a rarity. Now all you need is a big following on YouTube." Well, yeah, 3-Chord Dave special is coming out in January, but don't tell anyone. It's so secretive. Even Gibson don't know about it. But they will. They will soon. Benny says, "I listened to Gary Moore earlier tonight, and so you should. Because he's great." Micah says, "Oh, really, Scott? I am pumped to try and meet him, but still nervous." Billy apparently is the coolest guy you can meet. Like, he's just so down there. It's so cool. Marcia says, "Todd is definitely not excited about Billy effing Gibbons." I mean, he should be. Ryan says, "Gary is so good. Parisian Walkways gets played every few hours here." I mean, it is one of the greatest songs of all, one of the best guitar songs of all time. Just everything about it. Yeah, so cool. Scott says, "I was in a music store while I was there. ZZ was playing in town that weekend." Yeah, we get it. We're all jealous. It's all good. D-Ball, I know sometimes I feel like it's getting to be overkill, but fans buy them and they sell. So yeah, I mean, flippers buy them and sell them. It's kind of like the movie business. So, you know, if you go and see what movies are on in the cinema, in the theater this week, 80% of them are sequels or remakes or part of a Marvel franchise or a Star Wars or something. And that's because they have built-in audiences who will buy the things, who buy tickets to the things. Guitar World has become the same. They know Joe Bonamassa is going to sell out his signature models every year. They know Slash guitars are going to sell very well. They know Noel Gallagher's are going to sell well. They know after 2 years of hype, these Adam Jones are going to sell extremely well, especially because it's like they will see it as they are over delivering because there are 8 models that you can buy and people only expected one. So yeah, they're definitely a reason. And the reason is, I mean, they can't say if we revamp our core lineup, it's going to sell super well, because sometimes they've had shitty years where people haven't bought the new stuff because they've been terrible. I'm looking at you, 2015. But don't make stupid mistakes like putting robo tuners on every guitar and that stupid headstock signature thing and the hologram. Don't do that and you'll be fine. Just make better guitars. That's all you need to do. Anyway, we've ranted about that enough on the channel at times. But everyone knows my opinion on Gibson and their stupidity. But hey, it's all good. Guys, give me 3 more likes. I'll tell you what guitar I bought this week. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait till it arrives and you might see a video about it. You might not. You might just see it in a background or something. Daniel says, I do hope Harley Benton brings their tube amps to the United States. You might have to wait a little bit for that, Daniel, because they have different plugs on them, whether they're willing to swap them out. I mean, to be honest with you, if I buy... because we use 3-pin plugs here in Ireland, I don't have one I can unplug right now in reach. Nope. So we use 3-pin plugs anyway. And Germany and most of Europe use 2-pin ones. And if I buy something that needs a plug from Thomann, they just send me the German one. So I don't think they're going to change that for the US. And I think they run it in the US doing it. I think they're supposed to send me an adapter, but they never do. So you can pick them up fairly cheaply anyway. But yeah, so that's probably why you won't see the amps anytime soon. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully they will do it. Todd says to Scott, he shops at a buddy of mine's shop here in Birmingham when he's in town, but I haven't met him. Dude, next time they're in town, go get him. I mean, I say that as in a go and meet him. Don't go get him. Scott definitely mentioned this encounter, I guess. That's one of the times Todd wasn't here. Indeed, but Todd is here now and he knows about it now. So that's all that matters. Anthony says, I'd rather have a guitar I customize to fit my playing at a quarter of the price. There's certainly a lot to be said for that. Indeed, Anthony, you know, it's one of those things. If they do something cool and not just like, here's another Les Paul, then fine. But yeah, it's sometimes that the whole signature thing is a pain in the arse, because it's more money for pretty much the same guitar. Scott says, I named the guitar I bought that day after him, Billy F. Jackson. No better guitar. Very cool. T-Ball for sure. I mean, there are great signature guitars, but most are more of the same. Like the new Tim Henson Acoustic Electric is extremely unique. There are certainly lots of very cool signature guitars. I like the Rick Piatto, by the way. I think it's a really nice signature. It's an amalgamation of 3 guitars. He's done a really good job putting them together. I think they're guitars that people will really appreciate and like. But yeah, who knows? Who knows if they will do another run of those. But you know, what they really should do is bring out another version. Sorry, guys. YouTube's giving me an error. So, all right. Hopefully, you guys are seeing everything okay. YouTube is saying it's running in some trouble with streaming. So let me know if you're getting if anything's going wrong on your side. But hopefully you're doing okay and seeing and hearing everything as you should. Dudes, we hit 1 dislike, so if 3 more people could hit the like button, that'd be super cool. Just to get us to 40, because we've got a dislike now, and that only happens like 1 every 15 shows. So let's just make that irrelevant. Todd says, I only had a few words with him and held the door open for him, but I was over the moon. Indeed. Well, it was a cool experience, I'm sure. And we're all super jealous. Marshall says, it's from Ibanez if you haven't seen it. There's no way you could mod another guitar to be similar unless you built from scratch. Very interesting. I haven't seen it, but I will definitely look out for it for sure. Steve says, my Epiphone G400 Pro is, sorry, Scott says to Steve, my Epiphone G400 Pro is awesome. Hopefully yours is as sweet. Those are cool indeed. Marcia says, by the way, I hit the like on the stream, folks. Don't forget. That is the most important thing. And Scott, he was the first guitar player that got me to pay attention to tone, for real. Such mojo is rare, to say the least. Indeed. Very cool, dude. 100%. Let me see. Sammy says, pink hearts, yellow moons, orange stars, green clovers. Thank you, Sammy. We appreciate you sharing that with us. That's cool. Marcia says, what is an Epiphone G400 Pro? I don't believe I've seen it. It's a current model. No, it's an older model. Before the new ownership, the JC and the Agnesi and the Cesar, Epiphone didn't call their SGs SGs. They called them G400s. And G400 Pro, I believe, had features like coil splitting and maybe CTS pots or some better pickups or something like that. But those were cool. The G400 Pros, they were the ones to get if you were going to buy an Epiphone SG at that point, when they had them. Al says, just looked at the 2008 LP in Desert Burst at Carter's Vintage. Damn beautiful and only 7.6 pounds. Too bad I can't trade my new roof for that guitar. Yeah, trading a roof for a guitar is not a good idea, but those are nice. Those are nice. Scott says, Jimi Hendrix said Billy Gibbons was his favorite guitar player. Indeed, he did. He said, I think he said at one point he was the best guitarist in the world. And alternatively, he did at one point say also, when asked, who's like, you're the best, what does it feel to be the best guitar player in the world? He said one time, Billy Gibbons, and another time he said Rory Gallagher, ask Rory Gallagher. So yeah, I tend to think those three would make a special super group at some point, if they had ever gotten the chance. How cool would that have been? Todd says, Marcia, it's an Epi SG with some upgrades. Indeed. Scott says, on the Dick Calvert show interview, I think that's the one where he said it. Yeah, for sure. Ryan says, I was Jimi Hendrix's favorite pastry chef. He said so at Woodstock. I was there for that. I remember, Ryan. Yeah, that was a cool one. Good show as well. Daniel says, Jimi Hendrix also said Phil Keggy was the best guitarist. He said it about a lot of folks. Let's be honest. I'm pretty sure he was just being modest and actually thought he was the best. Benny says, my Epi G400 Pro was a steal. What a guitar for the money. Those are sweet. Those are sweet. Todd says, established titles will take your money in the name of Almighty Geek Lord and give you the finger in return. If you don't know, established titles is a big scam. So I know they're being heavily advertised on YouTube by people who are sponsored by them, people making all kinds of funny videos, but it is a big scam. There's actually lots of videos on YouTube that'll tell you how much of a scam they are. But yeah, people in Scotland who own land are not called lairds or lords or anything like it. So all they're doing is sending you a printable, I think it's like $150 or something. And they basically send you a printable certificate that says you can now be called a lord. Listen, if you want to put lord on your credit card or your debit card or your passport, you just got to check a box. Nobody's going to stop you. You can put doctor on it. You don't have to send your PhD in. So you can do it. It's all good. Nobody's going to ask you for proof of those things. That's why they get away with those advertising. But yeah, pretty much if you see any YouTuber advertising them, just tell them that's a big scam. They should stop advertising scams. Anyway, or maybe I shouldn't say anything because I'm not sponsored by nobody. Richard says, BFG does the intro to the Experience show at the forum. It's on YouTube somewhere. Well worth checking out. Indeed, that would be cool. I will check that out. Todd says, Dave, don't be a scaredy cat. Geek Lords fans are a bunch of sissies that worship Cesar. Todd, I'm never scared. I know you got my back, bro, so we're all good. It's It's all good. It's all good. Marcia says, I had a feeling it was established titles. He's been pushing it like crazy. Most guitar YouTubers have been. I'm guessing they're paying a nice amount because it has zero to do with guitar. It's not just guitar YouTubers, it's YouTubers in general have been pushing it. Like I've seen it on travel channels, guitar channels, finance channels. Every channel that you watch has at some point been gone, hey, do you want to be a lord? No, you're good. Anyway. Anyways, yeah, I believe they're probably, it looks to me, and I haven't looked into it too much, it looks to me like they're an affiliate style. The more you sell based on your code, the more you get paid. And I'd imagine it's quite a good payout because it's all they're selling is a printable file, nothing else really. They do own land, but you do not have any ownership rights to that land, by the way. It's all bullshit. And yeah, it's actually illegal to split little pieces of land that you own like that in Scotland. So anyways, never mind. Daniel says, people, y'all are sleeping. Slap that like button now. Indeed. Todd says, they all fear the 3-chord wave. It's coming. Indeed, the 3-chord wave is coming. And it's got all you cool folks in it. So let me see. I got to now tell you what guitar I purchased this week. So I have to go into my Thomann account because we've hit the 40 likes. Man, this computer's going really slow. What's going on? Something's... Oh, wait. Have I another window open? I might have. There might be all sorts of crap going on here. Anyways, it is shipped. It is a beauty. I've been talking about this model of guitar for a lot. I actually wanted to buy it for a long time because I think it's the coolest thing. But I, of course, had to wait a little bit because I was trying not to buy another guitar this year, but then, well, you know what happens. So anyway, I said hit 40 likes and I will tell you, and let me just upload the picture. Desktop. Sorry, man. This computer has decided to go super slow. It's probably time I deleted half the stuff that's on it. I still have video files from 3-Chord Dave Live, like 24 on it, so I should definitely remove it. Anyway, this is what I picked up. No surprise to anyone, I think. It is the Squier 40th anniversary Telecaster in Sherwood Green with the gold pickup and the things. It's a beauty. It's also my 40th anniversary, so that's why I'm excited to pick it up. It's one of those. I like it a lot. It's coming. They shipped it yesterday apparently, so I'm hoping I'll have it early to mid next week, and maybe it'll pop up in a video. But that's what's coming. Maybe one of those Relish guitars, and also an Eastman. That's all I'm going to say about that, because the Eastman I'm thinking of buying is very, very cool. And Muddy H2O, our good friend Muddy H2O, will be very happy if I buy that, because he's been trying to get me to buy an Eastman for a long time now. Anyways, let me get that out of the way for now. So that's what we're buying. If you think it's cool, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, then just keep it to yourself. It's all good. T-Ball says, who the hell is Geek Lord? I have been here for a while and still don't know who it is. I can't say. I'm sure someone will tell you, Anthony, in the comments there. Eddie Kidd says, that Geek Lord intro really ticks me off when I hear it. And yes, I know who Adam Jones is. Sarcasm not detected. Tool would be great if their lead singer wasn't such an uptight dink, in fact. Welcome to your daily dose of guitar information with me, the Geek Lord. That's... I tried to do a parody opening of that to 3-Chord Dave live one day. Maybe I'll put it in a video next week, an actual, because I had the music for it at one point somewhere. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Geek Lord it begins with a T. Let me just say that. I'm sure you got it there, Anthony. But yeah, he starts off all his videos with, welcome to your daily dose of guitar information. That guy. Ryan says, Geek Lord pissed off a lot of Gibson collectors when he stated the full name of someone who had purchased a very sought after guitar. Guy posted pics in a private FB. Somehow GL found out. Yep, he's that guy. Marcia says, it's Geek Lord, T-Ball. Dave made GL a code word. Actually, it wasn't me. Someone else came up with it, and we just ran with it from there. I don't know. I feel like it might have been Al or Grandpa Joe. It was one of those guys, one of the cool guys came up with it, and we said, let's just run with that. So anyway, that's who it is. Al says, wait, who's Geek Lord? I don't know. Never heard him. Todd says, welcome to your daily dose of guitar abuse. Yeah, that's it. Tebow says, Geek Lord, the Gibson Flipper. Also a very relevant title for that gentleman. Still, listen, he's one of the biggest guitar YouTubers. He does something right. People love him. And you can't knock it. I mean, you can't, because they come after you. And listen, everyone likes their own stuff. He does things I like. He does things I don't like. I do things a lot of people like that also a lot of people don't like. So let's just admit that he does his YouTube show, and that's fine. Ryan says, ouch, didn't know that GL did that. Boy, he's not making too many friends lately. He also makes it sound like he has beef with Gibson. Guessing it's more likely the other way around. Well, he didn't get to buy Greenie, did he? He was told specifically they wouldn't sell one to him, and he got pissed about that. That was the thing. Anyway, Todd says, Ryan, I'm ignoring your don't know him's, or else I'd have a damn stroke. See? What's a stroke? Ryan, appreciate you, man. T-Ball says, now all the GL Geek Lord jokes make sense indeed. Yeah, we should have, like, if you're new here is the glossary of terms. It should be posted up at the start of each video. I'm pretty sure. Ed Axman says, Dave who? Oh man, what? Ed, good to see you. Thanks for dropping in, say hello. We appreciate you. I don't know who this Dave guy is. He's some joker. Al says Dave's not here. It's a usual problem we have around here, for sure. Scott says, is ES333 ES335 Junior? I know it's not, but isn't it? Scott, why are you trying to mess with me, man? It might be. It might. I don't. 333. I don't know. I've never seen one. John says tool rules. Indeed. Daniel says signature models are like superhero movies now, and that is something I was having a discussion about today. Superhero movies, yeah, it's like it's overkill for sure. 100%. It's just like, get out of my face, and everything. I don't want it. I just got sick of those things. I still like its signature models if they're someone I'm a fan of, though. But I haven't bought one. I over the last couple of years, I've picked up a Jared James Nichols Gold Glory. Wasn't a fan, sent it back. Even though I thought it would be a cool guitar, it didn't appeal to me. I've had the Nancy Wilson Nighthawk. That's a really nice guitar, but it just wasn't right for me. Just wasn't the right fit. And I also had the PRS Santana one, the special Abraxas 50th anniversary guitar. That was a cool guitar, but again, just wasn't the right guitar for me. So rather than try and flip it on Reverb or something, I sent it back to Thoman to sell again, because it just wasn't the right fit. Could have made a lot of money selling that guitar, I believe, but yeah, sometimes I don't want to be the flipper guy. I don't want to be that guy who, like, although having said that, I'm trying to charge more money than I paid for the two guitars I have for sale. So, never mind me, I'm just a hypocrite. I thought TV2 was an awesome song, even before I knew who AJ or Tool were. Hey, everyone's entitled to like songs without knowing their what do you call it, their band and stuff. That's all good. Sammy says, Adam Jones, my aunt's neighbor's sister's second cousin-in-law. Very cool. That's an interesting story indeed. See you down in Arizona Bay. Learn to swim. All right, what? Ryan says, I met a man who met Andy Griffith. I also saw Dolly Parton last week at the airport. So, guys, what's going on? Al says 1 Adam 12, 1 Adam 12, 2 11 in progress. Lassiter in 5th. What's in this beer? What's happening? Anyways, this is going to haunt my dreams. John says, The Who, Guess Who, The Band, Journey, Kansas, and Toto. All good. Scott says, all good as of now. Cool. Yeah, the warning's gone away. I don't know what was going on. YouTube's just being a bit of a dick, as it always is, I suppose. Mike says all good here in Canada. Cool. I hope you're enjoying Canada. Is one of my favorite places I've been to. Micah says all good for me, Dave. Still see that beautiful head and hear that angelic voice. Are you watching someone else? What's going on, Micah? That's not. I don't know. Somebody said to me recently I have an upside down head because of my beard and my bald head. So I'm sure you're not talking about me, but I appreciate it anyway. Thanks so much. Todd says, I've had some slippage, Dave. Error. Well, sorry about that. Scott has the Epiphone Adam guitar video. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that. T-Ball says, I already have my 3-chord Dave signature guitar on order. I'm getting it through a secret sale sponsored by Geek Lord. It's going to be awesome. It will be. Just remember, if it's not Pelham Blue / faded Pelham Blue, you got the counterfeit and it's not real, and you should return the guitar and get a full refund. You should get a 200% refund. Scott says, I have a big backyard. Want to buy a square inch of moon for $24.99. Yeah, no thanks. I'm reading 41 likes, Dave. Will we see that guitar now? You should have seen it by now. Ed says, Trogley just defended it. Well, he's entitled to, I suppose. They're paying him money. Richard says, I was on the Established Titles channel and Esteban tried to sell me a guitar. Damn it. Damn that Esteban chap. I don't know what he's up to. T-Ball says, a piece of the moon. Shut up and take my money. Indeed. That's the one I wanted. When do I win that, Dave? Oh, that one's not going for sale or for competition anytime soon. The instant I saw this one, I was like, that's the one. That's what I've been waiting. Because even with the, if you remember a couple of years ago, if you've been on the channel long enough, I had the Anderton Special Edition Fender Special Run Squire Purple, metallic purple Stratocaster. And I was trying to get this color gold anodized pickguard for it. And I bought several and they just didn't work. It just wasn't the right color. So now Fender are doing it with gold hardware. I was like, well, Squire are. I was like, that's the one. I got to get it. So, and as you guys know, I've been trying to get the Telecaster because I only want to have one Telecaster really. So, yeah, I've been hunting for that Telecaster, the perfect fit. I think this could be the one. I'm hoping this could be the one. I like it a lot. So anyways, let's see what we've got this week, next week. Exciting. Of course, when Black Friday and all happens, it can take longer for shipping because lots of people buying stuff all over the place, and you know, Amazon are out the door. I did order some books and they're telling me some of them are going to arrive next week and some of them are going to arrive on the 16th of December. All right. For some reason, when somebody tells me something's going to arrive in December, I'm like, why is it going to take 3 months for that to arrive? Because that's what it feels like December is far away. Obviously, it's not, but there we go. So anyway, Scott, you're not winning this one. You're still, you're not banned from the next competition, of course, because Michael won the Telecaster. So yeah, you can legitimately win the next one. So bribes are accepted. Next time we're giving away guitars, of course, don't forget, all bribes can be sent to 3Chord Dave at thebribeaccount.com. Ryan says, how much moonland have you got, Scott? Indeed. Todd says, nice telly, Dave. Thanks, Todd. Yeah, appreciate it. I'm hoping it's going to be as good as it looks when it gets here. I'm super excited for it. Richard says, I just held the door for him. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Scott says, all you want, but it's in the back. Kind of scared. Daniel says, why don't people like Court? I think Court had a bad reputation in the 90s, but they're definitely much better than they were. So yeah, I think that's the kind of reason. 80s, 90s, Court had a maybe less than stellar reputation, but nowadays I think people are sweeter on them and think they're nice, much nicer than they used to be. Marcia says, sweet guitar choices. Thanks, Marcia. Yeah, I like the variations. If I do pick up a Relish one, it will be that rose color. I think it's cool. It stands out and it's different to anything I've ever had before. So I think it'll be cool. I'm also, if I do buy it, I'm going to buy one of their P90 sets and do some live swapping of pickups in a video and see how well it works or doesn't work. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I don't know if I can buy it though. I don't know. We'll see. I've got a day to think about it. Ryan says, nice choice on the telly. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I was hoping to pick that particular one up. And Thoman had a sale on it, and $3.29 I picked it up for, which is amazing because they were $4.99 when they came out. So you guys can do the maths. I'm not the math guy. I'm the talking nonsense on YouTube guy. So that's that's what we're doing. John says, Dave, you could sell the official 3-chord Dave, Lord 3-chord Dave Glory Hole shirts. We've got to probably tell the new folks about the Glory Hole thing. If you're concerned, just think Steel Panther. It's all you need to know. Ryan says he could sell he could sell time at the Glory Hole. I tried doing that and the police came to visit. So anyway, Scott says Chord make guitars for other brands that people really like. Sometimes the same people that dislike Chord. That's true. I would imagine Chord wants to build their own to a leading standard based on price. Yeah, that's a good point. PRS SEs are made by Chord. Yeah, a lot of them are. That's true. Core Tech is Chord. I think so. I'm not you know who's the best person to ask? Philip McKnight. He will know for sure. Yeah, I think you're right on that. Daniel says, that's why I don't get why a lot of people say they don't like Chord. Their guitar is probably made by them. Yeah, they're one of the biggest. They make guitars for all sorts of brands. You're 100% on the money, guys. T-Ball says, I only buy used these days, so many people buy guitars and figure out fast. Learning guitar is hard. It can be. Basically, like a new guitar has sometimes half the price, particularly the last couple of years when people have been freaking out over having so much free time, which I don't know what happened. I didn't get that free time. So can I get that free time now, please? Because I would work from home before the whole pandemic thing. I was working from home anyway. So my workload just increased. But the thing was, people were buying guitar like, this is my time to learn guitar. And then they were like, oh, wait, guitar's hard. You got to put time into it. Or just keep buying guitars and hope you get better one day, which is what I'm doing. But they, yeah, a lot of great guitars were sold just to get some money back. And yeah, you can pick up great guitars. Even still, people are now deciding, it's been 2 years, I haven't played it, I'll sell it, get some Christmas money. So keep an eye out for your local sales, Facebook and all that sort of crack. Scott says, Dave, how are sales of recently released Gibson Epiphone signature models doing? Are there any numbers on that? I still see JB355 stock. Yes, you do. So there's a bit of a backlash for Epiphone on the expensive ones, and they need it. They need a backlash on this stuff because they are trying to charge too much money, in my opinion. And that's all it is, guys. It's just an opinion. Anything I say in this channel is just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, then your opinion's more valid than mine is, at least as valid. I don't discount anyone's opinion. But Epiphone signature models have been doing quite well the last couple of years, as any guitars have, because they don't do things that are so outlandish and stuff anymore. But yeah, things like the Jerry Cantrells, for example, the Prophecy ones, they haven't been selling particularly well. So there's big markdowns on those at the minute this week because they're too expensive for what they are. And the Joe Bonamosses, they did not sell out. A lot of returns on them as well. People bought them just to check them out and send them back. I don't have specific numbers, but I can tell you a higher number than normal was returned of those guitars. They will sell. They will sell out completely over the next few months, but they didn't sell out day one, and they didn't sell out week one like they expected them to. There was a lot of people, I think, with my opinion of, if the guitar comes in at $9.99 or less, buy it. If it comes in at $10.99 or higher, it's not worth it, because it's that snobbery of, it says Epiphone on the headstock. Is it worth that much money? I can buy a Gibson for a little bit more than that. And it does come down to that. You can buy a USA made Gibson for a couple of $100 more. Why would you buy the Epiphone? Doesn't matter that it's got a Bigsby on it. It doesn't matter that Joe Bonamosse's name is attached to it, and you get a case and all that sort of crack, and it's this or that. It's still an Epiphone, and people will still make that judgment call. So what I would say, Scott, is the more reasonable price signatures are selling well. The expensive ones are not selling well. So we'll see how the Adam Jones goes. But the limiting factor, you're going to start hearing them saying, there is only X amount of these. Snap them up while you can to panic people into buying them. We'll see, though. We will see. John Brad says, I teased Geek Lord on his timeline, whining about Gibson not selling him a 50k greenie. Yeah, because he would have just flipped it for 90 grand anyway. So good on you, John. Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's, things people get upset about. Scott says, when Gibson says no, it has nothing to do with the 50k, in my opinion. Possibly, we'll make no comment about that. Todd says, the Fender Ombre Burst for Guitar Center is sweet. Yeah, those are nice. Yeah, the new ones that they released this week. Very sweet guitars. I agree. Ryan says, Esteban is a great guitarist for real. He has a channel with his daughter that plays violin. I wanted to leave a smart-ass comment on his channel. Ended up liking it. Worried is all I will say. Daniel says, Gibson did say they wasn't selling the guitar. Geek Lord wanted to be a flipper. Exactly. He probably got told we're not selling people we know will flip. And then lots of people tried to flip them anyway. Scott says, I kind of banned myself from winning anything as long as I'm a mod. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's fair, I suppose. But either way, I will point out, I will not be swayed by mods or not mods. It doesn't matter. Everyone's open to win. And if you want to rule yourself out to any competitions or anything like that, you feel free, you guys. But, we'll do something in the new year and we'll see who wins something. Ryan says, Todd, forgot the Umbra Burst. Go for the Antigua. No, don't buy the Antigua. They're horrible. Again, just my opinion. Todd says, Iron Cougar, Steel Panther cover band, headlining the Glory Hole this Saturday at Chord Dave production. I'm very scared about these Chord Dave productions. Wayne McConnell's here. Good to see you, Wayne. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Todd says to Ryan, I like the flame tops, but yeah, the Antigua is a classic. No, guys, you're not. No, the Antiguas are. No. Todd says, JB quit social media because someone said he was bald. Good grief. Yeah, they were making fun of his hairline or something. And he got all upset. And that happened to me and I shaved my head. So there you go. Different approaches. I suppose I don't really use social media that much anyway. But yeah, listen, if you're going to be on YouTube, if you're going to be on Instagram, and you're going to be a personality on there. And listen, I know Joe's got this following and he's a celebrity and all that sort of crack. Famous person, you've got to have a thick skin. People are just gonna shit on you no matter what you do. So it's kind of funny. It's also kind of, I get it. I've read comments and been like, fuck this, I'm leaving this platform forever. And had to like be talked back into it by my friends and loved ones. And, people be like, hey, look, you've got all these like thousands of nice comments. It just burns differently, the negative comments. I don't know what to tell you. So I can feel Joe a little bit. It's tough when people are calling you whatever they're calling you, or you're insecure about something. Like a lot of dudes are insecure about things like their hairline and stuff. And if it bothers you so much, do what me and Todd do and get aerodynamic. It's a good way to go. You'll feel better about yourself. I did. I was like, I wanted to do that for years. And then I did it. And I was like, oh, actually, I don't look that weird. So just do it. It's cool. Joe, if you do it, you'll love it. It'll be fine. Come on the show and talk to us about it. As you can tell, guys, we've got 15 minutes left. There's about 4 comments and things. So I'm stalling for time. So let me know what you think of Joe Bonamossa's hairline. I like it. I think Joe looks great when he's up there on stage playing guitar in his suit and his sunglasses. I think he looks super cool on stage. So I'll never say anything bad about him. And I don't think it's cool to say shit about people in the comment section where they might read it and get hurt. But also, I think people's comments on your physical appearance, you shouldn't let bother you because, and I know you didn't join for therapy today, but here we are. We're just going to have a little joint therapy session for a second. If someone comments about you, says something negative about you and your appearance or whatever, just say to them, you know what, bro, what's wrong with you, man? Are you okay? Do you need a hug? Is there something wrong? Because that's all it is. Other people giving you shit for what you look like. I mean, what's it to them? Who gives a fuck? Anyways, rolling on. I mean, people can say, hey, you're a terrible guitar player. They say that to me all the time. You just got to roll with those punches. Because usually it's true. When they're saying it to me anyways. Anyway, Scott says, the only thing driving me away from Epiphone and to other brands is a very small amount of money. But it's like a line has been crossed. Also, without me seeing the equally high jump in value. That's a very true statement, Scott. I think the $1,000 barrier was a huge one, and they've clearly just jumped over it. And a lot of people will think to themselves, is it worth buying an Epiphone for that value? I don't see a huge increase in the value, but I think they're working on it, and I think they're going to surprise a lot of people in the next year or two. If what I'm hearing they're working on is true, and I can't really say too much, but what I will say is they're going to get Epiphones, higher priced Epiphones, to be a lot more like lower end Gibsons. So we're going to see a lot of cool things. Still should see high end Epiphones, but so they're not going to be low end guitars, but they're not going to have all the bells and whistles. And they'll still say Epiphone, which does devalue the guitars in a lot of people's minds anyway. Daniel says the Adam Jones signature does have a lot of high quality parts, better than most Gibson parts. Yeah, because they got Seymour Duncan pickups. Well, one. And of course, a Pro Booker. Because what would an Epiphone signature model be without a pickup that the artist has never actually used? But hey, they put the word custom in there, and if you believe that they're custom, good for you. I don't believe it, and they never have. But there you go. Ryan says, Todd, it must have been his first time reading comments because I've seen much worse written about him. That's a very true statement, Ryan. In his comment section, there's been awful things in there. So yeah, it's a good point. I think what a lot of the bigger dudes on social media do is they read the first like half an hour's worth of comments, and or the first 30 or something. And if you get something, a dig in there in that time, they'll see it. So it must have been what happened to him there. Scott says, nobody quits social media because everybody loves you, only when people don't like you. Yeah, look, you gotta dig sometime. People hurt you with their words. If people can hurt you with your words, you probably need to toughen up a little bit. That is the truth, because people are mean, and they will. And I get comments all the time, and I'm like, fuck that guy. It's why I don't answer comments anymore, because I get drawn into arguments, and then I just my frame of mind always goes to say things that are negative that'll end up getting me in big trouble. So I try not to. Obviously, I do pop in the odd time. I always go through and read comments, but I don't always respond to them because I guess it's dangerous. Ryan says, Antigua is where it's at. Best finish after black. Ryan, what did I do to you, my friend? What did I? I'm sorry. I love you. What? I'm sorry. Al says, Joe, get a backbone. Poor Joe. Michael's here. Good to see you, Michael. Hope you're doing well, my friend. All the way out there in California. I bet you're having nice weather. I'm jealous. Anyway, Todd says, Ryan, right? He'd responded to the guy with, I'm about to rock a sold out show. What are you up to this evening? Which I considered a great reply. Then he was out. Oh, it was a great reply. Yeah. You know what happened? He probably played the show, probably kept that idea on his mind, probably didn't think he played a great show because of the comment, and then couldn't sleep about it because he was thinking about the comment, getting super angry, thinking about what he should have said to the guy. And he's like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm playing a show, sold out, blah, blah, blah. He probably put on a great show. People probably loved it. He's a good showman, Joe is. And, let's just admit, like we've said a few things about Joe on this channel as well. Just been a few jibes at him. But in all fairness, dude's a good guitar player. Dude's, doing a lot for the guitar business and the guitar industry and blues music in general. So, Joe, if you're out there, we'll be your support, buddy. But I know you hate us, so it's all good. Daniel says that's like all the people quitting Twitter, and they are still tweeting. Yeah, it's like you always see on groups and Twitter and all this sort of stuff. It's like, I'm leaving, and then you see on the comments they're replying to people. It's like, I thought you were leaving, bro. Anyway, I'm leaving this group. See you later. Nobody cares. Vincent's here. Good to see you, Vincent. Hope you're well, man. Says, evening all. The guitar boom is over. Chinese Epiphones post 1,000 will be worth less than half that this time next year. I agree with you. I don't think anyone's going to pay for them in the secondhand market at all. So yeah, I'm 100% with you there. Peter Geo says, hey Dave, rushed home from my work party to catch the end of the live stream. What did I miss? You pretty much missed everything. We did lots of cool stuff. Glad to have you here, Peter. Thanks for joining us. Al says everything, indeed. But it's on replay. You can catch the rest of it tomorrow, maybe. Todd says, if I've played with BB King and have 276 signature model Epiphone Gibson guitars and send millions of albums tickets, then I do not give one flip what anyone says about my bald head. Yeah, you know, I feel the same. I don't care what people say about it now. One dude, before I shaved my head, used to think he was really smart and clever by calling me Three Hair Dave. I actually thought that was quite smart. I did think it was kind of funny. But he thought he was getting to me all the time. And he wasn't. I just spent 4 days a week in therapy over his comments. I don't know what his problem was. Anyways, Marsha says, whoever is there to see Bonamassa for anything other than his music are poop emoji, poop emoji, poop emoji. I agree. I think if you follow Joe, it's for music or guitar related reasons, not to give him shit. John says, Joe Satriani likes being bald. I like being bald. I think it's cool. I dislike having to shave my head every 3 days, but hey, let's get over it. It doesn't take long. Wayne says, that boy is a bona fide rock star, hair or no hair. I think he is. I think he's cool. I like him. Despite the fact that we have our beef, but it's fine. Just because he didn't like, I said some of his guitars looked terrible, whatever. And some of the Lazaruses. It's fine. And that's some people have come out about the Joe Bonamassa leaving Epiphone and saying he's or leaving Instagram. Sorry, not Epiphone. He'll never leave Epiphone. Leaving Instagram, saying he sets his fans on people on social media. In a way, that kind of happened to me. My Epiphone Lazarus guitars don't look good video was attacked in the comment section with people saying you're just some fucker trying to make money off the back of Joe, and Joe's a million times better than you and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, and apparently, and I think it was Asian Redneck is here. I think he was telling, or maybe it was Chai Pup. Some of the folks were telling me that Joe mentioned me in one of his videos he did, and what I'd said about the Lazarus guitars. It wasn't meant to be a negative comment. Some of the guitars genuinely didn't look fucking good, and people were complaining about them. So it was a commentary more than anything on what the guitars were like. But yeah, he didn't like that, and he mentioned me. And the comment section were full of clearly Joe Bonamassa fans who had found the video and were like, "You're some scumbag for saying Joe Bonamassa did something imperfect." So when people say I don't like Joe Bonamassa, that's not true. I do like him, and I think he's a very cool person. I've given him money to watch his live streams and stuff that he did when he went during the whole pandemic and stuff. So I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I'm an admirer of him. I think his guitar collection is fucking awesome, and I like stuff that he does. Rockstar, yeah, hair or no hair, I dig it. I think you should shave it and just be like, sure, whatever, or keep it and be like, I don't give a fuck. But just if you're gonna get all bent out of shape over something someone says on social media, you probably shouldn't be on it anyway. Marcia says, I thought this stream is joint therapy. It is, we just kind of never address it. Daniel says, people thinking Epiphones don't hold value go price an elitist. Now that's a different thing altogether. An Epiphone elitist is a very cool guitar, made in Korea, those ones though, so that's a little bit why. Ed Axman says, bald equals solar panel for a sex machine, and it's about time somebody said it. I'm kind of disappointed that Todd didn't say it earlier, but I agree with you, Ed. The solar panel part is right at the back here, and it works. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate that. Super cool of you. Ryan says, Epiphone don't hold value. You'll get the occasional outlier, but even BC Rich got that with their Stranger Things guitar. Go price a Epi LP standard use versus retail. That's a good point. Yeah, some of the signature models will, for example, the Bonamassas are a great example. They tend to go up and up and up in value. John says, do we have any slide guitarists? What brands and sizes of guitar slides do you use? I do not know nothing about it really, to be honest, so I'm not going to chime in there. Daniel says that, John, that's because Joe is the Silver Surfer. Indeed. John says, why are P90s your favorite? They just sound amazing, John. I've never heard a bad P90. Well, I have heard a bad P90, but no, they're just great. I just like them. I just think for a single coil sound, they're fantastic. And I just love how they sound. Ryan says, John, I use a piece of drain pipe, iron drain pipe I got off a water heater. That works. Matt says, fuck that guy indeed. Don't let them unduly shape your content. Indeed, no, that's what you've got to do. You got to just not let it get to you. It's very difficult. It is, in all honesty, it is hard not to pay attention to comments, negative ones. You can have 1,000 positive comments and the one negative one will stick out to you. It's just human nature, I think, but it's hard. But hey, it's how it is. But we do our best. We do our best. Ryan says, I bet Joe that had that comment in his head and thought everyone he spoke to that night was secretly laughing about it. He probably did, especially if it's an insecurity he has and it just hit him at the wrong time. That's 100%. He took his ball and went home. He did, and that's what happens. Anthony says, I'll say goodbye now. Take care, Island of Misfit Guitar Players. Thanks for joining us, T-Ball. We do appreciate you. Take care, Anthony. We will see you soon. Al says, Dave, you're bald. I thought you were upside down. Thanks, Al. Yeah, sometimes I'm upside down, that's just how it goes. But that's for a whole different channel. Todd says, time to say good night. See you all next week. Thanks for dropping in, Todd. We do love you around here. And you say, Dave, you rock. Thanks for making this place for us to speak nonsense about nonsense among friends. I do love it, Todd. It's great. Thank you so much. Scott says, JB should always wear a strange hat like Billy Gibbons. Nobody has seen his hair in 38 years. Indeed. Scott says, thanks for everything, Dave. Great show as always. Ryan says, that is his hair, Scott. That's very true. Al says, dum da da dum da, good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Dum da da dum da. I don't know what rhythm I'm supposed to make in there, but thanks, Al. Appreciate it. And Richard says, show me the way to go home. Dude, go home whatever way you want. Don't let anyone tell you not to go either way. Mike says, hey Dave, not to change the topic, but the North American Funko Pop released some cool live stage sets exclusively from Walmart. Feature RDMC, Kiss, AC/DC, Metallica. Have you purchased any new ones? I'm trying not to, Mike, but no, who knows? Something might appear on the shelf behind me soon. I genuinely haven't yet, but now that I know, I will go and have a look and we'll see what happens. Andrew says, you buy anything good on Black Friday? Just this. No, not that. Just that. Andrew, so we'll see what that's like next week. Steve says, gotta go. See you all next time. Todd says, I'm tired and want to go to bed. Me too. Tal says, too drunk to drive. Richard says, had a little drink about an hour ago and it's gone right to my head, says Todd. Dudes, you are the best. Thanks so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure. I love you guys so much. Thanks for the super chat from Donald. I do appreciate it. Thanks a million. And don't forget, you can check out all the links in the descriptions. I'll be back with another guitar related video very soon. But until then, let me get the thumbnail. Have a great week, guys. Take care.